my whole life I was always interested in doing things that are unique, unexpected, that are bigger than life, doing the impossible. So I think this falls into this category. So when I was finished with the governorship, I wanted to do something in entertainment, but something that is unique and something that would surprise everybody. And it was just coincidentally that we started, talking to Andy Haywood and A Square Productions, and then he brought in Stan Lee, and we started talking about the idea of a Governator, and to create, because so many people have called me Governator over the years, that we thought we should do something with that name, and it always meant to people a heroic person, or someone that is a combination of the governor and the action hero, Terminator kind of a character. So we wanted to bring all my lives together, the athletic background, the lifting and the bodybuilding and all of that, also the entertainment background and that life and the action star and the governor, all of this together. And this is what this became, a superhero that has never been seen before, someone that has superpowers, that has super gadgets, that has surrounded himself with teenagers that are the brightest of the brightest, the most creative, that can create suits that enable me to fly out of space and be on the other side of the world within minutes, or they have created the super powerful vehicles that have more horsepower than anything else we've ever seen, super fast boats, helicopters, cars that turn into planes, and all kinds of magic and gadgetry. And there will be a lot of comedy, a lot of humor, a lot of action. So I think when you look at all of that together, I thought that is the kind of way of getting back into the entertainment business. But also one should not forget the partnership. We have the number one in creating the superheroic comic book character, Stan Lee. We have one of the most outstanding companies, A Square, that deals with animation. We have Archie Comics, which is the publisher that will be doing the publishing. We have the most creative writers. So to surround yourself with the best of the best, that is the way to kind of introduce something that has to do with entertainment. And especially, I love things that have to do with kids. This is the perfect vehicle for that. But it's also a show that is from the 5-year-old, and it's appealing also to the 85-year-old. So it will be written that way, and it will be the art will be done that way. When I met with Stan Lee, I said to myself, if we would have had just a little bit of that, of the politicians that it dealt with, with that kind of enthusiasm, with that kind of creativity, and to just spew out for hours ideas, looks, circumstances, action, funny scenes, and so on. So I mean, it was just staggering. It was just, for hours and hours we were sitting there, and it was just like we just were hitting it off so well, and everyone had great ideas. And this is something that you very rarely see. You start always debating over it. No, I don't like your idea here. Maybe this is better. Here it just came out great ideas. And so, like I said, you very rarely meet somebody that is that creative, and to have the kind of a brain, the kind of a mind that it just, triggers one idea, triggers another 20 ideas, and so on. So it was a great pleasure to work with someone like that, and to have him assemble a team of writers and to work together with Archie Comics and so on. So this was really, I think, people will be surprised when they see those stories and when they see this character. And of course, we are trying also at the same time not to make it like some of my movies were, which were super violent. We take this violence down, some of it out, and replace it with comedy, which is much better, and to make it a really family-oriented show, but also enough of the action and the gadgetry and all of this so that the kids like it. Well, I think inevitably we want to inspire the kids without preaching to them. So I think when you watch the 3 kids that surround the Governator, the kids will be inspired by that, because the reason why they are able to make the Governator have these extra powers and to do the kind of things that he does is because they're smart. And they are not only smart because they were good students in school, but they were smart because they're willing to go beyond of what they're being taught in school and get really creative. And so they become experts in hacking computers. They're experts in creating all kinds of gadgets, like a bubble gum that the Governator is going to blow up, and as it blows up, this bubble, it all of a sudden your face changes and you're a different person. So it's things like that, but it's all done because they're smart. And they always think, oh my God, there's another villain that has superpowers. How do we get around that? And so they come up with ways all the time. So it inspires kids to be smart and to always think and to learn and so on, and how important math is in order for them to work out the formulas, how much you have to be involved with in medical stuff because they take a DNA from someone and recreate them. It's all kinds of things like that. So there's that. Then there's also the idea that it will be done where everyone is kind of super green. So you have, the powers of the suits will be solar powered, the vehicles maybe hydrogen fueled vehicles or batteries, something like that, and make it really hip, so that the kids get that message also that we got to protect the earth. We cannot, the people that pollute the earth and the fossil fuels, this is all bad and these are the villains. So there's that element. So there's a lot of, then the whole idea that the harder you work, the more you can accomplish and the more successful you can get. If you're willing to take risks, you should never be worried about failure. You got to take risks. That's what life is about. And the more risks you're willing to take, the further you can go. So all of this will come out of this show. But again, the important thing is without trying to make it an educational show, because that's not what it is. It is entertainment from the beginning to the end. And every show will have surprises, and every show will be somewhat inspirational and very entertaining. Well, it was always meant to be a multimedia kind of a creation or project. So that it will be comic books, it will be print, it will be digital, it will be the TV series, 52 episodes a year. There will be toys, there will be all kinds of things that will be sold. There will be game shows, there will be things on the computer that you will see, and also there will be then the 3D movie, which will be the movie then for the big screen. And so we do all of those things and much more. As technology changes and as we have new means of communicating and of downloading and all, we utilize all of that. What you can do today, we would not have been able to do just 10 years ago. So this is, and it's also important that the hero and the villains are 21st century. So it's not like that we go back to the 80s or 70s or to Jaws in James Bond movie that had the superpower of his metal teeth or something like that. That was great then, and people were surprised. We would do the new surprises of the 21st century, where you really play with the digital age and where all the new gimmicks and the new dangers will be included, and the new powers that you can include. One of the things that that he has, the Governator, is also created by those kids, is a spray that you spray yourself in the mouth and you immediately speak a different language, but fluently. The only problem is that they haven't yet mastered it, that it lasts longer than 30 seconds to maybe 40 seconds. So you start out with like gangbusters, and people will be stunned. They say, "Oh my God, he speaks our language, so he must be the real guy." And then all of a sudden, after 30, 40 seconds, he loses the language ability, and now he has to cough and and get out of the room and kind of disappear quickly. Otherwise, he gets caught. So that's what will create the comic relief, those kind of things. And also that he has a personal life. He has kids. They don't even know that he is that character, that he is the Governator. So they think that dad is hanging out at home. We're worried about him. He doesn't go to an office. He doesn't really do much. And, he's just finished with the governorship. And maybe we should send him on a speaking tour, do something. But in the meantime, we pan down with the camera. You go down and down and down. But below the house is this huge pad that is much larger than the Batman pad, and there's all these super vehicles and super motorcycles and helicopters and boats, and everything is below ready to go and be launched. So all of this will kind of play really well, because the kids will like it, because there's the times where I have to go to a school meeting and I can't quite make the school meeting because I'm in the middle of the action of saving some people's lives or trying to destroy a villain. So I need to have a stand-in that could be me at home, so that my kid sees me from far away coming in, watching the soccer game or going to the parent-teachers conference. But of course that stand-in doesn't have my muscles. So he has to create a suit, a muscle suit, So, but then that will be detected that it's not the real me. So that is also very funny. So there's all kinds of things like that, the conflicts that are happening. Like I said, the important thing is that the show is funny and that it is action-packed. Yeah, well, whenever you kind of find something that is fun, that is great, that where everyone works together, where it's a new idea, where you launch a new thing, a new project, you have fun doing it. You're enthusiastic. I'm very passionate about it, and you always try to figure out what should I do when I'm finished with the governorship. I want to get back into entertainment. That's why I always said entertainment rather than acting. So this was really the ideal project to launch after I was finished with the governorship, and then there will be other things like in front of the camera. I will be doing action movies, comedies and stuff like that. But this was really terrific. This came along just at the right time and the right people.